Hello guys, in this video I'm talking about the endgame boss, the new Season 3 endgame boss, which will be this one where Megatork will help us, and I'm in the test server and that's how I have access to it. So at the moment this boss is bugged, so we can't do any damage at all, but I can already show you what you're gonna need to defeat this boss, and this one is really hard. I mean, it's kinda complex, but some of the things, especially one of these buffs, needs to be changed, otherwise we can't do it. To get the maximum rewards, you need to reach 140 million, if I'm not wrong, I'll check in a second. And for this boss, we're gonna need a lot of accuracy and resistance if you want to resist to easy buffs and to inflict any defense penalty. We need 320, 320, which is a lot. So this is the first problem, and these boss are getting these solidity stacks, and these stacks, each stack it takes 50% less damage, which means the moment he gets 2 stacks we don't do any damage at all, so will be really hard to reach a decent damage on this guy. I mean, if we want to reach 140 million, I mean, I tried with a decent team just on auto mode, and the maximum I could do was like 6, 7, 8 million. Maximum, it's really hard. But let's have a look. We already spoke with the moderators and with the community manager. They're gonna speak with the developers about this because they need to change this. This is not gonna work. So starting over again, he gains 1 of stack of this solidity and then removes 1 stack of solidity when the monster casts a skill. Next we have the Rust Poison, and this one, it will inflict 1 stack of an undispellable Rust Poison, and when you reach 20 stacks it will dispel all of these and do necrotic damage. And every time this effect is triggered, the subsequent trigger damage will be increased by 25%. Then these are all the skills of this boss, so it takes 30 seconds to do a complete cycle of his skills. The first one will do necrotic damage, and guys, don't forget this buff, so he will get these stacks while we casting our skills. So it's also the battle skill, so battle skill and ultimate skill, each time one of our heroes are casting one of skills, is going to get one of these buffs, one of these stacks, and when he casts these skills, he dispels himself all of these stacks. So probably this will be your better chance to do damage is between this timing, so at 6, 12, 18, 24 and mainly 30, and I will speak in a while about that. So the second skill, it deals necrotic damage to all enemies and inflict defense penalty. Then, so someone with the debuff immunity will be good, or to dispel this debuff. Then it's going to deal necrotic damage to all enemies twice, it's going to dispel 1 buff from them, and it's going to give buff prohibition, so this is a lot of stuff. Then it says it's going to give the buff prohibition if they aren't guaranteed any buffs. And then this one is going to release a Seed of Rust Poison to all, and is going to deal necrotic damage and inflict healing reduction and shield prohibition. And lastly, the ultimate skill is going to charge, deal necrotic damage 4 times to everyone, and when hitting enemies without buffs, reduce their ultimate energy by 30%. So you need a lot of stuff here, and he enters a fragility state. But we need a lot of stuff here. We need maybe buff prohibition or dispelling debuffs. We need some attack penalty if you want on this last skill just before he casts this 4 times. We need buffs. Before he casts this, because otherwise we are going to get our ultimate energy bar reduced. So having buffs is really good. One of the buffs, the ones is really easy to get, is like when you have those artifacts like the Warn, where you can give buffs to everyone. But this will be where you can really do a really good damage is on this skill, because after this is going to enter this fragility state for 5 seconds and is going to take 100% more damage. And I already tried a fight like this, I did like between 7 and 8 million damage. It's a bit better, but I mean, I'm not sure if this is the way they intend this to work. So probably the way to do damage on this boss is to set all your ultimate skills from your DPS to be cast on this one, and as well defense penalty I think will be the best way. So as you guys can see on this fight, I recorded this one, and as you guys can see, this is a pretty decent team. I'm using 3 Ice Blast heroes, 1 healer that has ability to dispel debuffs as well. We have Frubart with healing, with the horn to give that buff from the horn artifact. We have the battle skill healing from Frubart. We have so much stuff. We have Sheena with defense penalty, with Witchers to apply defense penalty. And as you guys can see, Gertin was doing more damage than Bladin was doing, the second damage dealer. But as you guys can see, it's really hard to do any damage. I mean, every time this boss gets at least two buffs of those ones, and they are undispellable. So we can't really dispel those buffs on this boss. So every time he got 2, we do 0 damage. 0 damage because it reduces 50% the damage on him. So having 2, it's 100% damage. Alright, so no chance. The only way I see, if I don't think this is the way they intend this to work, and we already spoke with them, as I said, they're gonna change this. I think, and I hope so, before they release this to the official server. The best way will be to use your ultimate skills from your DPS on the 30 seconds timing, and defense penalty just before that. And if you cast your ultimate skills at the same time the boss will cast his ultimate skill at 30 seconds, he will not have any of these defense stacks, and with this we can do more damage, also because he has the fragility and will increase 100% the damage on him. So I think will be our best chance to do a lot of damage on this boss, but it looks really tricky because he can do a lot of debuffs, a lot of stuff on our characters, so we need to have a lot of tools in our hands to deal with this boss. So at the moment this boss is like this. The Dragonheir team is already aware of this, and I think they're gonna solve this. This is just a test server, so it doesn't mean the boss will be like this on our official servers, but at this moment we can't really test it on the right way. I mean, with these buffs it's impossible, so we hope they solve this on the test server, or at least that when they release this boss to the official server, that is working as intended. So I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to leave that like and subscribe to my channel, it helps me a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.